If there's one thing I've learned after over 30 years in clinical medicine, it's this: weak legs after 60 aren't just because you're getting older, they're a living map of what you've eaten, drank, and chosen for your body, every single day. I'll never forget Robert. He was 67 when I met him, tall, once athletic, but now, every step looked like he was dragging a sack of bricks. Robert used to run marathons for fun. Now he needed a cane just to walk into my office. He sat across from me, clearly confused and a little heartbroken. "Doc," he said, "I exercise. I eat okay. But why do my legs feel so weak? It's like my muscles are vanishing." That question, I've heard it hundreds of times. And here's the hard truth: most people, like Robert and his friends, don't realize that weak legs, heavy joints, daily aches and pains aren't just a part of getting older. They're the result of hundreds of micro decisions we make every day, like that donut with your morning coffee, that side of fries with dinner, that nightly glass of red wine, or that multivitamin you thought was helping, but might actually be hurting. You can exercise, you can drink milk for calcium, but if you're eating the wrong foods and taking the wrong supplements, your muscles will still shrink. Your joints will stiffen, and even standing up from a chair, climbing stairs, or walking through a park becomes a real challenge. I've seen patients like Robert break down, not from old age, but from years of silent choices that eventually caught up with them. Brain: why do your legs get weaker? Did you know that after age 30, we lose about 3 to 5% of our muscle mass every decade? Source: the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. It's called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. By the time you're 70 or 80, you might have lost 30 to 50% of the muscle you once had. And here's the thing: muscles aren't just for movement. They protect your bones, they keep your metabolism healthy, they support your immune system. So when your muscles weaken, you're more likely to fall and break a hip, you recover slower from injuries, you start losing independence in your daily life. But here's the good news: this decline is not inevitable. It can be slowed, it can even be reversed, if you understand the causes and take the right steps. I ordered some tests for Robert. The results were eye-opening: abnormally high calcium in the blood, mild inflammation around his knee joints, below average muscle density in the thighs. When I asked about his habits, he admitted taking 2 daily multivitamins plus a high-dose vitamin D supplement, because an article said it's good for bones, eating 2 to 3 sugary treats a day, a glass of wine every evening. Robert had no idea the very things he thought were helping were slowly harming his body. We created a simple recovery plan: cut back on refined sugars, stop self-medicating with vitamins, eat whole foods rich in protein and greens, begin light resistance training to rebuild muscle, fire what's really weakening your legs. It's the modern diet: too much sugar, too many processed foods, unhealthy fats hiding in deep-fried snacks, artificial additives and preservatives, and yes, even some of those healthy vitamins taken the wrong way. You might think, it's just a small treat, just one multivitamin. But your body doesn't forget. It records every teaspoon of sugar, every processed fat molecule, and every imbalance. And one day, your legs start giving out. A 2020 study in Nutrients showed that a diet high in refined sugar causes chronic inflammation in muscle tissue, accelerating weakness and loss. Another study in the Journal of Gerontology, 2018, found that excess vitamin A can lead to muscle atrophy, joint pain, and even osteoporosis. Mayo Clinic warns that too much vitamin D, a common mistake in older adults, can cause high calcium levels, leading to muscle cramps, kidney stress, and fatigue. I ordered some tests for Robert. The results were eye-opening: abnormally high calcium in the blood, mild inflammation around his knee joints, below average muscle density in the thighs. When I asked about his habits, he admitted taking 2 daily multivitamins plus a high-dose vitamin D supplement, because an article said it's good for bones, eating 2 to 3 sugary treats a day, a glass of wine every evening. Robert had no idea the very things he thought were helping were slowly harming his body. We created a simple recovery plan: cut back on refined sugars, stop self-medicating with vitamins, eat whole foods rich in protein and greens, begin light resistance training to rebuild muscle. In this video, we'll uncover: white heavy checkmark, the everyday foods secretly weakening your legs; with real-life stories that prove the damage. White heavy checkmark: 2 common vitamins that are dangerous when taken incorrectly. White heavy checkmark: a step-by-step lifestyle strategy to keep your legs strong into your 70s, 80s, and beyond, because at the end of this video, I'll share the golden lesson that everyone over 50 needs to hear, that if you want to stay active, independent, and out of wheelchairs and nursing homes for as long as possible, we're about to uncover truths the food and supplement industry doesn't want you to know. Let's take that first step, together. Footprints. Why do legs get weaker after 60? The truth about muscles, bones, and aging, a truth most people don't want to hear. Here's one of the hardest truths I've learned after 30 years in medicine: aging isn't the real reason your legs get weak. It's not just your age. What's really happening is this: there's a growing gap between the tiny daily damage your body experiences and your body's slowing ability to repair it. When we're young, our bodies recover faster than we break down, but after 60, repair slows down, damage doesn't, and if we don't adjust how we eat, move, and rest, our muscles start to vanish. And our bones start to suffer. The result: muscles shrink, joints get stiff. And the very foundation of our freedom, our legs, begin to fail us. Sarcopenia, the muscle loss no one talks about. Sarcopenia is the medical term for the slow loss of muscle mass and strength as we age. According to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2013, starting in our 30s, we lose about 3 to 5% of our muscle mass every decade. By the time we're in our 70s or 80s, many people have lost 30 to 50% of their original muscle. It's not just about looking weaker. Muscle loss leads to higher risk of falling, slower healing, sluggish metabolism, weakened immune system. Remember Robert from part 1, when we scanned his legs, he had just 58% of the expected muscle density for his age. That's why every step hurt. Every movement felt like a struggle. What's silently draining your strength? Biologically, after 60, the body faces slower protein synthesis, muscle rebuilds more slowly, chronic inflammation silently breaks down tissues, lower hormone levels, less testosterone, estrogen, growth hormone, reduced insulin sensitivity. Muscles don't absorb fuel well, but those aren't the biggest culprits. The real accelerators: donut, a diet full of sugar and processed foods; couch and lamp, a sedentary lifestyle; sleeping face, poor sleep; chronic stress; pill, unregulated supplements. Study 1, Frontiers in Physiology, 2019, a high-sugar, high-fat diet triggers chronic low-grade inflammation, accelerating muscle loss in older adults. Study 2, Mayo Clinic, 2021, the top 2 risk factors for sarcopenia are lack of exercise and low protein intake. Study 3, The Journals of Gerontology, 2020, older adults who regularly ate processed foods had 58% higher risk of muscle loss than those eating whole foods. We don't often think about this, but strong muscles protect our bones. They absorb shock, they stabilize our joints, they prevent dangerous falls. But when muscle disappears, bones are left vulnerable. A small stumble can become a major fracture, especially a broken hip, which can be devastating for older adults. Harvard Medical School, 2020, older adults who break a hip have a 20 to 30% risk of dying within 1 year of the injury. Helen was 74, a retired dance teacher. She'd spent her life teaching others how to move gracefully, until one day she tripped in her garden. Just a small fall, but the result? A fractured hip, surgery, and 6 months later, she still couldn't walk without help. She lost 60% of her independence. The deeper cause: severely low muscle mass in her thighs, a diet high in sugar and fried foods, years of quietly ignoring her body's warning signs. You can't stop aging, but you can slow it. You can't turn back time, but you can. White heavy checkmark: slow down muscle loss. White heavy checkmark: strengthen your legs. White heavy checkmark: stay active and independent, even into your 80s and 90s. How? Eat better, move more, sleep deeper, understand your body, supplement wisely, not excessively. Weak legs after 60 aren't destiny, they're the result of tiny daily choices, built up over decades. But if you understand what's really happening, if you take action today, then you can. White heavy checkmark: walk confidently in your 70s. White heavy checkmark: climb stairs with ease in your 80s. White heavy checkmark: and maybe even dance with your grandkids in your 90s. Silent muscle killer, sugar and sweet foods, how they weaken your legs and joints without you knowing. I remember Mary well, one of the kindest, most cheerful patients I've met. She was 72, always smiling, full of life. She had one small daily habit. Every morning, she treated herself to a cream-filled pastry and a cup of sweetened coffee. Just one little pastry, Doc, she laughed. Life's sweeter with something sweet, right? But 5 years later, things changed. Climbing stairs became a daily challenge. Standing to cook tired her legs. Every evening, her legs ached and felt numb. When she came to see me, we ran some tests. The results? She had lost 22% of her thigh muscle mass in 5 years. Her blood showed elevated inflammation markers, early signs of insulin resistance, all that. From just one pastry a day. Sugar isn't just empty calories, it's fuel for inflammation. Here's what happens when you eat sugar. Your blood sugar spikes, your body releases insulin, excess sugar gets stored as fat, inflammation is triggered, muscle recovery slows down. Harvard Health Publishing, 2017. A diet high in refined sugar activates inflammatory pathways that weaken muscle tissue and accelerate joint aging. How sugar weakens your legs. 3 major pathways. Chronic inflammation. Every sugar spike creates oxidative stress, the production of damaging free radicals, ROS, that leads to systemic inflammation. And inflammation slowly eats away at muscle tissue. Mayo Clinic, 2020. People who consume over 50 g of added sugar daily show 30% higher inflammation markers than low-sugar individuals. Insulin resistance in muscle. Insulin helps deliver glucose, fuel, into your muscle cells. But when you consume too much sugar over time, your cells stop responding. Muscles stop absorbing energy. Muscles weaken and fail to recover. National Institute on Aging, NIA, insulin resistance reduces protein synthesis and increases muscle degradation in aging adults. Increased visceral fat. Sugar equals belly fat, but visceral fat isn't passive, it's toxic. It acts like an organ, secreting inflammatory chemicals that attack muscles, joints, and blood vessels. The Lancet, Diabetes Endocrinology, 2018, higher visceral fat is directly correlated with lower muscle mass and greater fall risk in people over 60. How much sugar is safe? American Heart Association, AHA, men, less than or equal to 36 g per day, women, less than or equal to 25 g per day. For perspective, just one Vietnamese iced coffee can contain 20-30 g of sugar. Mary isn't alone. In fact, I've seen hundreds of patients with the same pattern: a cookie every afternoon, a diet soda with dinner, a small scoop of ice cream at night. Just a little treat, Doc. But day after day, year after year, that small dose becomes a slow drip of poison to your legs. The most dangerous forms of sugar for your legs. Not all sugars are created equal. These are the worst offenders: refined white brown sugar, high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, in sodas and candy, hidden sugars in low-fat and healthy snacks. Here's a shocker: one 12-ounce can of soda equals 39 g of sugar. Almost double the WHO's daily recommendation. How much sugar is safe? American Heart Association, AHA, men, less than or equal to 36 g per day, women, less than or equal to 25 g per day. For perspective, just one Vietnamese iced coffee can contain 20-30 g of sugar. Study 1, PubMed, 2020. High-sugar diets reduce IGF-1, a hormone critical for muscle maintenance in older adults. Study 2, American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2019, sugar slows down muscle recovery after injury by 40%. Study 3, Mayo Clinic Proceedings, 2022, older adults with high sugar intake are 1.8x more likely to develop sarcopenia. Age-related muscle loss. So how do you save your legs from sugar's destruction? White heavy checkmark. Step 1, spot hidden sugars. Sugar hides under many names: HFCS, dextrose, maltose. Syrup solids, fruit concentrate. Be skeptical of low-fat and healthy snacks. They often add sugar to improve taste. Step 2, make smart swaps: soda, herbal tea or lemon water, store-bought desserts, fresh fruit with cinnamon, candy bars, natural nuts like almonds or walnuts. Step 3, control natural sugars. You don't need to give up all sweetness. Just choose whole fruits. Fiber slows absorption. Raw honey, use sparingly. White heavy checkmark. Step 4, Power your plate with protein. Muscles need building blocks. Make sure every meal includes protein, fish, eggs, chicken, beans, tofu, pair with leafy greens and anti-inflammatory veggies. It's not aging that's making you weak, it's refined sugar, quietly breaking you down. But the good news, you can start turning it around, starting today, together. We overhauled Mary's diet. She cut out 80% of added sugar, ate more vegetables, lean proteins, and berries, walked 30 minutes every day. 6 months later, gained 2.5 kilograms of lean muscle, improved stair climbing endurance by 40%, leg pain decreased by over 70%, but the best part, she smiled again, confident, steady on her feet, and that smile. That's why I do what I do. You don't need to give up all joy in life, just make smarter choices each day. One less pastry today equals one steadier step tomorrow, one glass of water instead of soda equals one stronger joint, one balanced meal equals one more year of walking independently, and your legs, your most loyal companions, will thank you for it. Step by step. Fried foods and toxic fats, how they slowly destroy your legs from the inside out. John was a 65-year-old retired engineer. After decades of hard work, he wanted to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. Every morning, he'd go for a walk in the park. Every afternoon, he'd meet his buddies for a plate of crispy fried chicken. It's just a few pieces, Doc, he smiled, I still stay active. But 3 years later, John returned to my clinic, his complaints, heavy, tired legs, knee pain, numbness after sitting, difficulty climbing stairs. Tests revealed, gained 18 pounds, mostly visceral fat, lost 17% of thigh muscle mass, poor blood circulation in his legs. It all started with those innocent afternoon chicken wings. How fried foods attack your muscles and joints. They trigger silent inflammation. Trans fats and saturated fats found in fried foods stimulate inflammatory cytokines, chemicals that inflame the body from within. That inflammation wears down muscle fibers, cartilage, blood vessels. Harvard Health, diets rich in bad fats accelerate whole body inflammation, which speeds up muscle loss and joint degeneration. Study 1, British Journal of Nutrition, 2018, people who ate fried food more than 4 times/week had a 46% higher risk of leg weakness and reduced walking endurance. Study 2, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2021. Trans fats impair the body's ability to rebuild muscle after exercise, especially in seniors. Study 3, Journal of Gerontology, 2020, saturated fats increase the risk of knee osteoarthritis and cartilage breakdown in older adults. They block blood flow to muscles. Bad fats stick to arterial walls. This hardens and narrows the arteries, especially in your legs. That means, less oxygen to your muscles. Slower healing, weaker strength. Mayo Clinic, 2021, peripheral artery disease caused by high trans fat intake increases muscle loss risk in adults over 60. They fuel belly fat, a toxic source of inflammation. Fat around your organs doesn't just sit there, it behaves like a factory of inflammation, damaging muscle cells, joint tissue, circulatory health. PubMed, 2022, older adults with high visceral fat had over 60% higher risk of losing muscle mass. Study 1, British Journal of Nutrition, 2018, people who ate fried food more than 4 times/week had a 46% higher risk of leg weakness and reduced walking endurance. Study 2, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2021, trans fats impair the body's ability to rebuild muscle after exercise, especially in seniors. Study 3, Journal of Gerontology, 2020, saturated fats increase the risk of knee osteoarthritis and cartilage breakdown in older adults. The most harmful fried foods for leg health: fried chicken, especially commercial chains, French fries, donuts, fried onion rings and frozen snacks, fast food breakfast sandwiches. Warning: even homemade frying isn't safe if you reuse oil. Reheated oil produces aldehydes, toxic compounds that damage muscles and blood vessels. Fat type harmful effects. Common sources: trans fat, major inflammation, destroys muscle. Fried foods, margarine, packaged snacks, saturated fat hardens arteries, reduces circulation. Fatty red meats, cheese, butter, healthier ways to cook and fuel your legs: bake, grill, or steam instead of deep frying. Use healthy oils, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil. Add anti-inflammatory omega-3s, salmon, chia seeds, walnuts. American Heart Association, omega-3s improve muscle function and vascular health in aging adults. After seeing the danger signs, John made a choice: cut out 90% of fried foods, switched to grilled and steamed meals, added fatty fish and dark greens, walked briskly 30 minutes a day. 8 months later, lost 15 pounds, mostly visceral fat, gained 2.1 kilograms of lean muscle, improved stair climbing by over 50%, leg circulation vastly improved, but more than that, his eyes sparkled with energy again. He stood taller, stronger, and prouder of every step he took. Every bite of fried food is a decision to fuel your legs, or to sabotage them, and the beautiful truth: just one healthier meal can begin rewriting your aging story. There is no better feeling than knowing you'll walk, with confidence and freedom, well into your 80s and 90s, because you chose to protect your body, one plate at a time. The triple threat to your legs: alcohol, white bread, and processed foods. Margaret was 70. She believed a glass of red wine each night was good for the heart. David, 68, liked the convenience of white bread sandwiches for breakfast: easy, fast, no fuss. Both thought their habits were harmless, even healthy, in some way, but then, Margaret began experiencing nightly leg cramps and weakness. David noticed knee pain after just a short walk. Both struggled with energy and leg strength. Tests revealed decreased muscle mass. Signs of chronic low-grade inflammation, impaired circulation to their lower limbs. That harmless wine and white bread, they were quietly chipping away at their leg health, day by day. Alcohol, the hidden enemy of muscle and circulation. How alcohol drains your muscle strength. Even moderate alcohol can suppress muscle protein synthesis, lower testosterone and growth hormone, both vital for maintaining muscle, dehydrate muscles, reducing flexibility and function. Mayo Clinic, 2021. Regular alcohol consumption significantly impairs muscle repair in older adults. Alcohol disrupts blood flow. Alcohol inflames the walls of your blood vessels. It contributes to arterial stiffness and poor oxygen delivery. The result: fatigue, leg numbness, slower healing, loss of muscle tone. Harvard Health Publishing. Chronic alcohol use increases the risk of peripheral artery disease, which weakens leg muscles over time. White bread, the blood sugar trap. What makes white bread so dangerous? Made from refined flour stripped of fiber and nutrients, high glycemic index causes blood sugar spikes, triggers excess insulin release, increases fat storage. NIH Research, 2020. Refined carbohydrate intake correlates with increased risk of age-related muscle loss. The sugar roller coaster in your legs. Every spike in blood sugar a burst of inflammation. Repeat this cycle enough times and it quietly breaks down muscle fibers, joint cartilage, blood vessel linings. Over time, your legs lose strength, stamina, and balance. Processed foods, the chemical assault on muscle and joint health. What's hiding inside processed foods? Preservatives, like nitrites and benzoates, trigger inflammation. Hidden sugars mess with your metabolism. Trans fats harden arteries, damage muscle tissue. Journal of Gerontology, 2019. High consumption of ultra-processed foods is strongly linked to reduced muscle mass and increased fall risk in older adults. Study 1, PubMed, 2021. Drinking more than 2 alcoholic drinks per day reduces muscle recovery by up to 40% in seniors. Study 2, British Journal of Nutrition, 2020. Refined carbs like white bread increase sarcopenia risk by 1.6 times. Study 3, The Lancet Public Health, 2022. Ultra-processed food consumption raises chronic inflammation, leading to muscle atrophy and reduced mobility. You can't change your age, but you can change what you drink, what you eat, and how your body ages. Even one less drink, even one switch from white bread to whole grains, even one smart snack, that's all it takes to move from weakness to strength, balance, and independence. Your legs carry your life. Let's not let wine, wheat, or chemicals rob you of the journey ahead. Instead of alcohol every night, try natural juices or herbal teas. Instead of white bread, opt for whole grain, oat, or seeded bread. Instead of packaged snacks, choose raw almonds, walnuts, or fresh fruit. These little changes add up, day by day, meal by meal, step by step, after understanding the risks. Margaret cut back alcohol to just 1 small glass a week, focused on hydration and leafy greens. David dropped white bread and switched to steel-cut oats and whole grain toast. 6 months later, Margaret reported 35% stronger leg endurance. David lost 9 pounds of fat and gained nearly 2 kilograms of thigh muscle. Best of all, they were back to taking long walks together, confident, stable, and energized. You can't change your age, but you can change what you drink, what you eat, and how your body ages. Even one less drink, even one switch from white bread to whole grains. Even one smart snack, that's all it takes to move from weakness, to strength, balance, and independence. Your legs carry your life. Let's not let wine, wheat, or chemicals rob you of the journey ahead. The vitamin trap. When AD do more harm than good. Patricia was 66. A health-conscious woman, she'd recently read an article praising vitamin D as the golden key to longevity. Without hesitation, she went to the pharmacy. She began taking 10,000 IU of vitamin D and 5,000 IU of vitamin A, every day. They're just vitamins, she told me, more must be better, right? 9 months later, her legs ached, muscle cramps kept her up at night, her balance felt off, blood tests revealed high calcium levels, reduced muscle density. The vitamins she thought were protecting her, they were slowly breaking her down from the inside out. Vitamin A, from friend to foe, what it's supposed to do. Supports vision, boosts immunity, aids in cell repair. What happens when you take too much? Vitamin A is fat-soluble, meaning it gets stored in the body, not flushed out. Excess vitamin A can cause liver inflammation, muscle aches, bone thinning, higher risk of hip fractures. NIH research, 2021, hypervitaminosis A, vitamin A toxicity, is directly linked to muscle loss and bone weakening in older adults. How too much vitamin A affects your legs, disrupts protein metabolism in muscles, accelerates muscle breakdown, blocks absorption of calcium and magnesium, both essential for strength. Early signs, muscle pain, joint stiffness, weakness during simple movements like standing or walking. Vitamin D, when sunshine becomes a storm. Why vitamin D is important: helps absorb calcium, maintains bone density, supports muscle function, but in excess, high-dose vitamin D leads to hypercalcemia, too much calcium in the blood. This can cause muscle cramps, leg stiffness, kidney stones, kidney damage. Harvard Health Publishing. Excess vitamin D disrupts electrolyte balance, often leading to muscle weakness and loss of coordination. Study 1, Mayo Clinic Proceedings, 2022, excess vitamin D slows down muscle repair after activity in aging adults. Study 2, Journal of Bone and Mineral Research, 2020, too much vitamin A weakens muscle strength and increases fall risk in women over 65. Study 3, NIH Vitamin Bone Health Project, high-dose fat-soluble vitamin supplements, AD, may cause muscle loss, poor balance, and bone demineralization. Red flags: you might be overdoing it. Unexplained muscle pain, night cramps or stiffness, excessive thirst, nausea, fatigue, frequent urination, especially at night. These are not signs of aging, they're signals your body is overloaded, and quietly calling for help. How to take vitamins the right way: check your real needs, don't guess, get your blood levels tested, especially for vitamin D. Safe recommended doses: vitamin D, 600 to 800 IU/day for adults over 60, vitamin A, max 2000 to 3000 IU/day from all sources. Food supplements, prioritize natural sources, vitamin D, early morning sun, salmon, sardines. Vitamin A, carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach. Monitor and adjust. If you're supplementing, retest every 3 to 6 months, stop immediately if symptoms of overdose appear. We stopped her high-dose vitamins. She switched to a food-first approach, light daily exercise, gentle physical therapy for her legs, supplemented only what she needed. Based on labs, after 8 months, her muscle pain was gone, her walking endurance improved by 50%, she regained control and confidence in her movement. She told me, smiling, "For the first time in a long time, my legs feel like mine again." Vitamins can heal, or harm, it all depends on how you take them. They're not candy, they're not harmless, and more is not better. Taking care of your body isn't about loading up on pills, it's about balance. Awareness. Listening. Testing. Adjusting. Your legs are strong, but they're also sensitive to what you feed your body. Let's protect them, with knowledge, not assumptions. The full recovery plan, how to rebuild and maintain leg strength after 60. I still remember Paul. He was 74 and walked into my clinic with pain, frustration, and fear in his eyes. "Doc, I used to be a pretty good golfer, now I can barely make it up the stairs, I'm scared. I'll end up in a wheelchair." His diet? Skipped breakfast. Lived on canned food. Poor sleep. We didn't start with fancy treatments, we rebuilt the foundation, meal by meal, step by step, night by night. 6 months later, I received a photo in my inbox, Paul, smiling, standing on the green, golf club in hand, no cane. No pain. Just pride. Sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, is real, but it's not irreversible. PubMed, 2020, adults over 60 can regain 2 to 4 kilograms of lean muscle in just 6 months with the right diet and exercise. The key is retraining your body, not through extremes, but through consistent, strategic actions. Nutrition, the foundation of strong legs. Prioritize high-quality protein, salmon, eggs, Greek yogurt, lentils, tofu. Aim for 1.2-1.5 g protein per kg of body weight per day. NIH Research, 2021, sufficient protein intake improves muscle mass, function, and fall resistance. In older adults, eat anti-inflammatory foods, leafy greens, berries, walnuts, turmeric, ginger. Avoid refined sugar and fried foods. These foods fight the inflammation that slowly erodes muscle strength. Stay hydrated. Muscles are 75% water. Even mild dehydration makes them stiff, fragile, and injury-prone. Drink water throughout the day, especially before and after activity. You don't need to lift heavy weights, you don't need to run marathons, but you do need to move. And move with purpose. The 3 pillars of movement. Exercise type purpose examples: strength build muscle bone density light dumbbells, resistance bands, cardio improve circulation energy brisk walking, stationary biking, balance prevent falls tai chi, yoga, standing on one foot. Mayo Clinic, just 30 minutes of moderate exercise daily can improve lower body strength by up to 30% in seniors. Your body heals while you sleep. It releases growth hormone, essential for muscle repair. Sleep less than 6 hours per night equals 20% reduction in recovery. Sleep tips: keep a consistent bedtime, avoid screens an hour before bed, try herbal teas, soft lighting, calming music. When you're stressed, your body produces cortisol, a hormone that breaks down muscle tissue. Chronic stress equals chronic muscle loss. Distress tips: 10 minutes of meditation, gratitude journaling, laughing with friends. Walking in nature. Harvard Health, seniors with positive mental habits maintain muscle function better than those with high stress. Sample 6-month recovery roadmap. Month focus habits to build. 1. Start slow 15-minute daily walk. 2. Protein-rich meals/day. 2. Add light resistance 1-pound weights, basic balance drills, chair stand. 3. Clean up diet, cut out fried/sugary snacks, add leafy greens. 4. Improve sleep, herbal tea, no screens before bed. 5. Boost flexibility, gentle yoga or stretching after walks. 6. Reassess strength, test stair climb, 1 leg stand for 10 seconds. Paul's results: 6 months later, gained 3.1 kilograms of lean muscle. Lost 13 pounds of belly fat, could walk 3 miles without stopping, played golf again, weekly, but more importantly, I feel alive again. Document: I feel like my legs belong to me. Muscles don't disappear because you're old. They disappear because you stop using them. Treat your body like a house. Yes, it gets older, but with care, repair, and love, it can still weather any storm. You don't need to be 30 again, but you can be the strongest version of your 60s, 70s, and 80s, full of movement, strength, and freedom. Stand strong or surrender. Your future walks on the legs you build today. I've seen legs climb Olympic podiums, and I've seen those same legs go numb and weak in a hospital bed, not from age, but from decades of silent damage. I've seen proud men and women fall, not from sickness, but from choices made in quiet kitchens, on grocery aisles, and in moments of it's just one bite. But I've also seen something else. I've seen people, just like you, rise, people who refused to accept that getting older meant getting weaker, people who stood up and said, not today, not my body, not without a fight. If you've made it to this point in the video, I know this about you. You're not the kind of person who gives in, you're the kind of person who takes charge. You understand now, your legs didn't betray you, they're just reflecting what you've given, or denied, them for years. You don't need to be flawless, you don't need to do everything all at once, you just need to choose one step forward, today, one glass of water instead of soda, one plate of salmon instead of fried food, one 15-minute walk instead of sitting in fear, one deep breath that says, I'm not done yet. Because you're not. When you lose leg strength, you don't just lose mobility, you lose independence, pride, confidence, precious moments with your grandchildren, but the beautiful truth? You can get it back, one movement. One meal. One moment of courage at a time. Let it be this: aging is inevitable. Weakness is not. Growing older doesn't mean growing fragile, it means growing wiser, and choosing to stand taller because of it. So, will you let your legs carry regret, or will you let them carry your strength, into your 70s, 80s, even 90s, and beyond? If you felt something shift, if you learned something that could change a life, if you believe more people need to hear this message, please do 3 simple things: white heavy checkmark like this video, let YouTube know this content matters, and help it reach more people who need it. White heavy checkmark subscribe to this channel, so you never miss another life-changing health truth. White heavy checkmark share this video, with your friends, your spouse, your parents, anyone over 50 who still wants to walk freely and live fully. Microphone this is your channel name. Thank you for walking this journey with me, all the way to the end. May your legs be strong, may your heart be full, and may you always remember, no matter your age, health isn't everything, but without it, everything else fades. See you in the next video. Herb Green Heart.